Server from 17 once again, introducing you to my Darksiders 2 Apocalyptic difficulty video walkthrough. For the people that are sticklers that the commentary should stay on topic when in a walkthrough, this is probably not the video series for you, as Darksiders 2 is exceptionally easy. These videos are going to show you how to fail at wall running, right there. Although there was logic behind that, folks, because I wanted to swim under here and get the chest. This video series probably will not be to your liking, because you will undoubtedly want me to shut up, stop talking, or talk on topic. So, firstly, I apologise for that. You can mute the video and watch it, but it's my style, it's what I do, and, you know, fuck it. But in the last video, I was talking about standards of YouTube and principles that people see, and, you know, little techniques that people witness and then, you know, incorporate into their own work to help them boost numbers, boost figures, boost views. And then I made a comparison to this etiquette, this mentality, to real life work, which is a really, really good mentality to have. But you'll notice I say real life work, and what I mean by real life work is actually, you know, out in the real world, not on YouTube. That's what I mean. And that's not to, you know, to diminish people's achievements on YouTube, because if you're getting paid to do things for YouTube, you're working, and you're working hard, because you can't just get lucky on YouTube unless you're like a fucking Jesus figure, or there's something really unique about you, like you've got two cocks and you can make them sing. Like, I don't know, you'd have to be Jesus, literally. You would have to be, you know, sat in a little chair on a cloud, smoking a roll-up, because we all know Jesus would, he looks like the hippie type, and breaching? Yeah, because he's a bomb diffuser. No, preaching some kind of, you know, new gospel. That is literally what you would have to be, because then all the easily influenced, gullible people that buy into any religion that, you know, gets pulled out of a bag, would believe it and would probably love to watch it. But this is not about religion. I don't know where the standards come from, but the moral is the same. It is exceptionally difficult to get to that stage in YouTube, because you have to have put in a lot of work. So if you are getting paid and you are focusing on YouTube, you're doing a lot of work. What I really mean, though, is when you work a job that involves, for instance, being yourself, rather than this internet persona that shows up to a camera, you are a very different person, and you interact with people a lot differently. Because just look at a car, just look at these barriers to, you know, interactivity that we put ourselves in. Vehicles, computers, telephones, mobiles, or mobiles, as Americans say, anything like that. All this is a barrier between you and the person you're interacting with, but it's also a safety blanket and solace that you can be a dickhead without repercussion. That is literally what it is, and it's literally what we develop, and you can't do that in a real job unless A, you're a sociopath, B, you know MMA, and C, you're just a dumbass dickhead type character. They're the only times that works. Or the final one, which is you're a truth teller, which I believe myself to be. At the same time, I do also have a brain which tells me sometimes I should keep certain opinions to myself, because the person I'm speaking to cannot take this information, because I am notorious, you ask any of my friends, for being a truth bomber. And what I mean by this, it has absolutely nothing to do with Al-Qaeda or a hatred of the American government. It is literally, I tell people the truth to their face, because I don't see the bullshit in talking behind people's backs. If I think somebody's done something that's stupid, I'm going to call them a retard. If they don't like the word retard, I'm going to use the word retard, because that's just how I function. And to a lot of people that's disgusting, that's a completely bad attitude to have, but to me, you always know where you stand. You always know whether or not I like you or I dislike you, because it's complete honesty at that point. You're not wondering what I'm saying behind your back to somebody else, and I love that about my own personality, even though I do realise that it can be extremely offensive, and it can also be jarring to some, because some people have a lot more, shall we say, I'm not going to say modesty, but a lot more, you know, reservement. There's a lot more that they hold back, and they wish they could speak out, but they don't, because, you know, society's taught them a different way. And I can hear fucking noises, man. I hope that didn't come through on the mic. Shit's moving. My mum's having a lot of work done in the kitchen, so if you hear any banging, I do apologise, guys, but I need to do these commentaries before this premiere trial runs out. But anyhow, back to the original tangent, because if you've only just started tuning in and you like what you hear, I am the master of fucking tangents. I don't even mean to go on them, they just kind of crop up and I start rolling with it. Oh no, it wasn't my mum making the noise, folks, it was the next door neighbours. Because there's about 12 of them in one house because they reproduce like fucking bunnies. But enough about that. So that's a hive that I was just smacking on screen. It does produce these bugs, so you want to kill it as quickly as possible to get rid of it. Chain your combos, do your power shots, it's all good, it's all gravy, baby. And I will go back to the original tangent, which was, you can't, you know, do certain things in a real world situation, a la job, professional work environment, because there are certain things that you have to adhere to. A lot of it is standards, you know, standards and practices and all that great stuff. Like, you can't even talk about pornography in the workplace to somebody who's uncomfortable about it because they'll get you for sexual harassment. It's nearly happened to me numerous times because I assume everybody is comfortable with everything, and that is a wrong assumption to make because some people are extremely conservative, and that is a mistake on my part just because I'm so comfortable with pretty much everything. Like, it doesn't bother me, but it bothers a lot of people, and I do respect that. It's just I'm an idiot. But back on original tangent, it's so interesting to see what these people do to literally just get views, and I'm not condemning it at all because YouTube is a business and it should be treated as a business if you're making money on it. And the reason I say this is I believe you should put everything you can into everything you do, unless you're a serial killer, child fucker, or wife beater, because then you should kill yourself. But everything else, you should do your best at it, because then you can look back, even if you failed, even if it didn't go the way you wanted it to, and you can say, I gave that everything I had, I couldn't have done a better job, and at this moment in my life, it wasn't, you know, meant to be, and you can take solace in that. But when you look at it from a perspective like a small YouTuber, looking at, you know, these habits that spread between these bigger channels, you just can't help but see this delicious irony, and this just, it's so funny to watch these people, and like, it could happen to any of us. It really could, because you never know how you're going to take, you know, this exposure. Because right now, I average between anything from 10 to maybe 100 comments a day. So to some people that probably sounds like a ton. To other people who are more familiar with YouTube, that's nothing. There's some videos that have got 40,000 comments on them. So like, it's a massive amount of interactivity with people, and you never know who's going to comment. You could get one from a subscriber you've had for ages who always reliably puts something either funny, interesting, or awesome, and you're like, that is a great comment. Or you'll get the dude who's just dropped on your video, who's so filled with hate, he's practically a bag of poison, and he's just like, you know, this is shit, you're a dick, go and fucking suck a nuclear bomb off. Like, you never know. And maybe when you get to these hype, you know, these high altitudes of success on YouTube, it does change your character. It forces you to adapt, but I can't speak because I'm not there, so maybe there is an excuse for people to do this, but it just seems like when you watch their early commentaries, they're completely different than the people that they've turned into. And I understand that, you know, styles evolve, a lot of things that people do on commentaries, a lot of, you know, habits and routines are literally that. There's something that they've conditioned themselves into doing from doing this for such a long time, but you almost feel like that guy who hates all new music because the old albums are always better. And then you look into the commentaries, and the older commentaries were better, the newer commentaries weren't so great. And a good example of this, where no offence is intended whatsoever, is a guy called White Boy 7th Street. He's an exceptionally successful YouTuber. The guy is a business genius. He's a savant at getting views because he plays every physical angle, be it cheap, be it whatever. It doesn't matter. He's successful, and now he's lapping in luxury. But I've never liked this guy because his commentary style irritated me. And I do believe you can't like everybody. Everyone has their own taste, and there's some people that will just annoy you. It's no fault of their own. It's just how we function. And I was like, I don't get why anybody watches this guy. His voice, the way he talks, what he says, it's just, it wasn't for me. It didn't, you know, it didn't reverberate. There was no resonance in it. And then I watched an older one by accident, just clicking on side videos. It was, you know, like 2 years ago, and his commentary style was completely different. He wasn't doing the silly voice, he wasn't doing, you know, all the routines that he's known for. He was just, you know, a dude with a microphone playing Call of Duty, and I really liked it. I thought it was cool. I was like, this guy's cool, what the fuck happened? And then you notice he's got 1 million subscribers, so he's got to play up to the camera at that point, because people are coming expecting to see this personality. And you see this everywhere on YouTube. Like, I remember listening to a Wings of Redemption video. I'm going to have to keep talking because I'm going to forget what I'm saying. I do apologise, folks, if you have no interest in my opinion and you're just here for the video, but you can click on to the next one and mute it. It's that simple. But Wings of Redemption mentioned that there was a guy called PewDie or PewDiePie, or it's some very strange internet name, was getting 14,000 subscribers a day. So this guy is doing, let's look at this, I'm nearly on 2 years and I've got 3,000 subscribers, so 4 times effectively what I have. Skipping all the semantics, what I'm trying to say is this PewDiePie character is getting a lot of exposure, and Wings mentioned that one of the things that's giving him so much exposure is because he's personalizing his channel. And how he's doing this is he's putting his face on all of the images for the videos, so immediately when you look at the side on YouTube, you see these images, you see these videos, and you know what videos are his, because you can see him, and his face is, you know, in a ridiculous posture, so you're thinking, well, that looks weird, I'll click on it, and it's bringing viewers and it's bringing traffic that way. So Wings has started implementing this in his own channel, I noticed, and that is, you know, one of two things. It is taking something that he has done and, you know, implemented it in your own work, but at the same time, if it's working, why not? Because from a business standard, isn't that how it works? Isn't that how, you know, the corporations work? They see the competition, they see what they're about to do, they try and beat them to the punch, they try and, you know, take on their identities and make it better and improve and innovate. It's kind of how everything works. But it's funny to look at all these other subscribers that are infinitely huge. We're talking millions and millions of people that watch their videos, and they're doing it too, because you can see that all these fucking images have got these faces on them, and you're just kind of like, I see where that started, and I see how this is having this knock-on effect. And like a lot of creative mediums, you're influenced by what you see, and sometimes you don't realise how much. And my real question is, how much investment do they have in doing this? Is it purely to get the more views and get the higher subscriber counts, or is it, you know, some malicious side to rip off another YouTuber, or is it completely innocent and they don't realise how much they've taken from a fleeting moment where they saw it and they thought it was a good idea? But answers on a postcard, folks, because I'm pretty much out of gas on this tangent. But thanks for watching. Hopefully the next videos will be back on a more respectable tangent and more focused on Darksiders, and you take care now.